Welcome to the 8th episode of the BlueCollarBaddies podcast. This episode is sponsored by the Stoic Pearl, supporting and empowering women in the trades. Be on the lookout for new designs coming out in January. Today we're here with Mariah. What trade are you in?
So I'm a Journeyman Wireman.
Okay.
With the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. I'm a union electrician.
Yeah. And did you find that job from this union? Did she help you find it?
No.
Okay.
So I am like my dad's shadow, growing up. If he was going to go work on a car, we were going to go work on a car.
That's awesome. I was that way too.
Yeah, if he was going to go do something, we were going to go do it.
Yeah.
So he got me into this trade.
Nice. That's cool. How long have you been in?
14 years.
Oh, dang. Nice. That's awesome. What did you originally think you were going to do growing up? This was always it, or?
No, so I actually went to college for art.
Oh, nice.
And I was a ballet teacher at that time.
What?
To little people.
That's awesome.
Sorry, toddlers.
Right, yeah.
So I had always planned to do that.
Nice.
And then college wasn't for me.
Yeah, I hear that. That seems to be the going thing with girls in the trades.
Yeah.
I couldn't got through college either.
It's interesting because, I have met a lot of people that have, tried college. Yeah. And in my apprenticeship class, we had, history people that had, gone through college and all that.
Oh, wow.
So.
Dang. Well, and, back then, college was, you have to go or you're just worthless.
Right? We all grew up with that. You must get a college degree.
Yeah. So, and then from there, how did you end up in your actual trade?
So I went through a nice little hoodlum era.
Oh, yeah?
And after that, I was trying to, get back on my feet. And my dad was like, hey, why don't you come to work with me for a little bit until you figure it out?
Nice.
And I don't think he meant for me to, make it a full-time thing. But I was like, oh, no, I like this.
Yeah, let's go.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That was kind of the same way I ended up in mine, because the 4 years ago pandemic thing, Joey was like, just come work for me until everything evens back out, and then I never quit. So
right, you signed up for this.
Yeah, here we go. So what has been the biggest struggle you faced so far, just being a woman in a male-dominated area?
People thinking that I can't do it. Either physically or I don't actually know what I'm doing.
Right, yeah.
Any of those things.
Yeah, it's a big, that seems to be a big deal, because I don't know why that a woman shows up and they're just automatically like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
What about issues with women specifically, other women in the trades? Have you had any?
So I've had a mix. I've learned that there's different types of women in the trades.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are just here to do our jobs because we like this. And those, I've never had a problem with most of those women.
Right.
Sometimes you can't, y'all just stay your separate ways. You know what I mean? Y'all never really interact. You're just another person to each other. Then you always have the ones that have something to prove.
Right.
Whether that's through the girly flirtiness or just the trying to prove that they're just as good as somebody else.
Get out of my way, I'm gonna...
Yeah. And those are the ones I kind of struggle with.
Yeah.
Because I'm what are we doing?
Right.
We're just here to do our job.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, when I was thinking about this question, I was the biggest problem I've had with women is the wives.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
They always think the worst. I had a good friend of mine that I worked with for years. It was Mark in his phone.
Huh.
Because one time I texted him, I was like, hey, when you come upstairs, will you bring a bundle of pipe with you?
Yeah.
And his wife was like, what is she talking about? And I was like, what? And so I was Mark.
Oh my gosh.
And I've had a lot of guys that are like, no, we save your number under another name.
Yeah.
I work with your husband.
Right. Yeah.
The number of just ridiculous, they act sometimes some of the guys act like teenage boys.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So,
working next to them makes you not want to even more.
Right? I don't know what you think your husband does at work, but I'm not here for that.
No, thank you.
And I have my own, like...
Right, yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I have my own little family, so...
That's funny. Have you ever had any wives, like, personally contact you and be like, hey?
I don't think so. Like, I've had some that are kind of, like, suspicious, like, when we go out.
Oh, okay.
Like, because our union will do, like, turnout dinners
Right.
and different events, and I've had some been kind of suspicious there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't...
Just giving you weird vibes and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so if you were to switch to another trade, what do you think it would have been?
I honestly have no idea.
Really?
Like, I can't see myself doing anything else.
Nice.
Like, I have kind of, within our trade, gone to different parts of the field.
Yeah.
Like, I've done estimating, I've done general contracting. Like, I've just kind of hit or missed a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I always end up right back where I am.
Nice.
Like,
So you love it then?
Yeah.
Nice.
I do.
That's cool. If you were to give advice to someone who wanted to do what you're doing right now, what would you tell her?
To not give up.
Nice. I like that.
And not let anybody put her in a box.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will. They'll be like, oh, well, you're just going to do this. Or you're just going to do this and then move out and do estimating or office stuff. Or you're only here until you have a family.
Right.
And those are all things that it's like, no,
Yeah.
you do what you want to do.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. Any embarrassing job site stories you want to share?
So I was thinking about this, and we were all talking about it. And the only thing, like, most of mine are not embarrassing for me.
Yeah.
I did have one where I slipped and went through a data floor.
Ooh.
And I ripped my jeans and, like, part of my leg. Like,
Golly.
not bad,
Yeah.
but from my knee to, like, my belt loops.
Holy cow.
And my apprentice was freaking out, and I was like, I don't need help. I can tape it up myself.
Yeah.
Like, am I bleeding? Other than that, I got this.
Right.
Most of the other ones are, like, embarrassing, like, accidentally embarrassing guys because they're not used to being around women.
Oh, yeah.
I got hurt on a job site, and I had to go to the clinic or whatever. And as you know, as a woman, anytime you go to a clinic, they start asking all the period questions.
Yeah.
And the safety guy is sitting there like, oh my god. And it's funny because he's like old enough to be my dad, and he is freaking out about period questions.
He must not have daughters.
But he has a wife and children. Like,
oh, yeah.
I just don't know if they're daughters. And so
Yeah.
it's like, you should know that this is a thing.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's funny, though.
I thought it was hilarious. He did not find it near as
I
funny.
bet. What's your absolute favorite thing about your job?
I love being able to be myself.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to put yourself in a box. Like, I think that is something about the trades that a lot of people don't think about or see.
Yeah.
Is you can be as weird as you want.
Yeah.
Or as laid back as you want. And that just is who you are. And nobody, like, yes, we will pick on you and rib you and, like, all those things.
Right.
But at no point are we like, you have to change.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we have a guy that has, like, a Dungeons and Dragons stickers all over his hard hat. And we pick on him.
That's funny.
But, like, we would, like, they're still there for you just as much as they are somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Is there anything you feel like you've missed out on by not having a typical dress-up, everyday kind of job?
So I did that for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I worked at a call center, and I did the whole makeup and heels, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't me. Like,
Yeah.
I had fun, and I have memories, and I made friends there, but it just, like, it never made me happy.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt working at the bank. Like, I didn't hate it, but it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
Do you have to wear a hard hat?
Yes.
Okay, so any hair care tips or skincare tips that you have found?
So, I personally do something like It's a 10 or like a serum
Oh, yeah.
because I have curly hair.
Yeah.
And like in the summer, my hair will like foof.
Oh, yeah.
So I either braid it or put it into a bun, and then
Right.
I put the serum in it to keep the frizz, and then I always wear a bandana for the hair. And then I have noticed if I don't, like, I'll get that acne right across my forehead. And it bothers me that the men don't get it.
Yeah.
But
why is that?
I have no idea.
Like, I'm 35. This should not still be happening.
The other thing that made a huge difference because we work outside is a barrier repair.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a couple different ones, and because like the first time it happened, like my face had so much windburn, like I could not get it to not be burned and cracking.
Yikes.
And so I found a barrier repair. I found 2 so far. One's from Dermalogica and one's from The Ordinary.
Nice.
Instant
I don't think
repair.
I've ever heard of that.
I hadn't either until I went to somebody and was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So.
Nice. Are there any brands of work clothes that you found work really well for what you do?
So that one's hard. We were talking about it, and like I went through, like when I first started in 2010, like it was impossible almost to find things for women that weren't like cheeky.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's Justin and all their boots are like the little, what are they, fat babies?
Oh, yeah.
And that's not my thing.
Right.
I mean, I know some people that swear by them. I just don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I went through a phase where I did try to wear some of the women brands.
Yeah.
And they just didn't hold up as well. I will say that I did switch back over to women's jeans.
Okay.
But my shirts and my boots are just generic. And I will say that I wear Thorogood boots now, and 10 out of 10.
Really?
Between them and Ariat, those are my 2 favorites.
Nice. That's cool. But they make the women's sizes too? Cause...
They do, but I went back to the men's.
Okay.
Because I have dancer's feet, right?
Oh.
And so I can get the double E.
Yeah.
And it fits better.
Nice. That's cool. I mean, a lot of girls, though, do buy men's boots, but my feet are just too little.
Oh, I could see that. Like, I did men's boots for a long time. And then I switched to women's. And I liked them a lot until I got pregnant.
Oh.
And then after I got pregnant, like, they didn't fit the same.
Yeah.
But... And they don't have as many steel toe options.
Right, yeah.
And I prefer steel toe now.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. Do you have to work out to stay fit for your job, or is the job the workout, or you just can do it no matter what?
So when I first started, I started weightlifting, but I don't know that it would matter, because even when I went to the office, I still did weightlifting. Right. I love it.
Yeah.
But... Oddly enough, the thing that I do to help with my job the most is the Stairmaster. Oh. Because, like, stairs still kill me. Yeah. But I quit when I got pregnant because it was a high-risk pregnancy. Okay. And then I have that mom guilt, so I haven't been able to fully make it back yet. Right. But I do a little bit. But there are some days where... out in the field, it is a pure workout. Yeah, for sure. Like, I have gone home and just fallen asleep on the couch and woken up for work the next day like, okay.
Dang, here we go again. Yep. Okay, what's the one tool you couldn't live without?
My knife.
Nice.
I take it everywhere.
That's mine too.
I have mine on too. And it's funny because, like, the guys don't quite understand, but I have some that, like, fit in my dress pants. I have some that I can wear with a dress. I have some, like, I have enough to fit almost any reason. That's awesome. When I worked at the airport, obviously I couldn't keep one on me because I would accidentally go towards the places you're not allowed to have it. Yeah. So I had one in my car, one in my desk. Right. Like.
Nice. And they're always, like, you always need a knife for something.
Well, and you can do other things with it. Right. Like, we've gotten panels where, like, they have the safety lock on them and you can just, like, turn it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or somebody else is always like, we need a knife. And I'm always like, here you go.
I've done that a lot. When I'm a crocheter, too. So I'm always like, nice. I can cut yarn. Like,
yeah. That's funny. Any upcoming goals or big future plans? Like within your career or outside of it?
I don't know. Like,
I mean, it's fine if you don't have an answer.
So I just recently switched. So, like I said, I went to the GC side as a project manager, project engineer for electrical. And then I just recently, in the last couple months, switched over to an energy marshal position, which I absolutely hate that title. Oh. It is so, like, it's so weird to say I'm an energy marshal. Yeah. But it's actually interesting and I'm really loving it. So I'm kind of like, I just want to see where this goes.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have anything else you want to add? Anything that could be helpful for just someone that doesn't have the confidence maybe to go for it.
If you don't know if you can do it, you might as well try.
Yeah.
Like, there's no shame in trying, and then...
Right. I mean, plenty of people try college and hate it, so why not go the other way?
Well, and I've met a lot of people that are like, well, what if I try and I don't make it? Mm-hmm. And there's this thing that I read one time where it's like, we always think about ourselves as the main character, mm-hmm. But this is going to sound a lot meaner than I mean for it, but if you go to a job site, right, mm-hmm. and you absolutely hate it and you leave,
yeah,
like, the chances, like, you're more likely to make a meaningful impression on somebody than you are for them to care that you showed up for a week and was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, like, at the end of the day, nobody's going to think about
cares,
that.
Yeah.
Like, when you interact with people, like, the goal is to always help or to impart something that, like, means something. Mm-hmm. If you don't, like, it's just, it really, whatever matters is how you feel about yourself.
True.
So if you think you want to try, you might as well try.
Yeah.
Like, if you think you don't want to try, then don't.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like, there's no harm in trying.
Mm-hmm. Love that. All right, and any social media, anything you post that you want people to follow?
So, always the Tarrant County
okay.
Central Labor Council stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to share a lot of your podcast stuff.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, if you go through your stuff, you can find ours.
Cool. All right. And we'll link all that in the description. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. All the links and products we mentioned today will be listed in the description. If you're a woman in a blue-collar industry and you're interested in being the focus of the next episode, or you're a small business that would like to sponsor an episode, reach out to us in the link below.